Friend, Shabbat Shalom to everyone. Welcome to our services this evening. Last week, for those who were watching on our streaming, there was no streaming, or there was a moment of streaming, and then the streaming stopped. And we totally blame Nathan for this, because it was all his fault. No. It's even crazy to explain it. We've been having power outages here. I don't know if anyone has had them. I will walk into the synagogue in the morning and pass in, and then the fire alarm hasn't gone off, but it's buzzing like something has triggered it. And so we reset it, and we don't think of it. Our wonderful sound system, which I thought was over there's part of it that's behind here. And what happens is, I know you don't care, but I'm going to tell you. So what happens is the power went off, and you have to reset it.
Right.
So last week, Nathan, who has a postgraduate fellowship in sound, was looking around. He kept pressing the button, and nothing was happening. Right. He thought the world had turned against NRT, and it turns out it was one button.
Right. The one back there that no one ever showed us about.
That's what happened.
Learning.
That's our confession.
It won't happen again, because now I know.
But there might be another part of the system that we don't know, and life is an exploration.
It is.
Okay, I solved that problem. So we are going to, welcome to everyone, and hopefully people out in who are watching us through streaming. You're part of our service this evening. And so let's join together in some worship. We are going to turn to page 2 and continue with L'chad Dodi.
L'chad Dodi, ligrat kala, b'nei Shabbat, nekabla.
are going to turn to page 7. We call upon Ethan Luck to come forward, who will lead us in the lighting of our Shabbat candles. Page 7.
Come, let us welcome Shabbat. May its radiance warm our hearts as we kindle these tapers.
Light is a symbol of God's presence in our lives. The Eternal One is our light and our salvation.
Light is a symbol of the holiness within each of us. The human spirit is the light of God.
Light is a symbol of the Torah's teachings, for the commandment is a lamp and the Torah is a light.
Light is the symbol of Israel's mission, as it is written, I have made you a covenant people to serve as a light to the nations.
Therefore, in the spirit of our ancient tradition that hallows unites Israel in all lands and all ages, we kindle the lights of Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kishanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat, lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. We praise our eternal God, creator of the universe, who hallows our lives through laws and ethical teachings. We are mindful of these timeless values as we kindle the lights of Shabbat.
May God bless us with Shabbat joy. May God bless us with Shabbat holiness. May God bless us with Shabbat peace. Amen. Thank you. Oh.
Shabbat's over.
We have the most resistant. No, we're gonna keep going. The Jewish people don't give up. We don't.
There we are.
See?
Shabbat's back on.
Shabbat shalom. Thank you. Ethan, my heart was about to skip a beat on that one. Don't make me crazy before Rosh Hashanah. I don't know. I can't deal with the stress. We are going to continue on page 36 as we rise for the Baruch Hu.
Lai 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 Baruch hu et Adonai hamivorach. Baruch Adonai hamivorach, hamivorach leolam va'ed. Hamivorach, hamivorach leolam va'ed.
Let us be seated. And let us continue on page 37. I'll begin at the top of the page. Ever-living God, your majesty is proclaimed by the marvels of the earth and sky. Sun, moon, and stars testify of your power and wisdom. Day follows day in endless succession, and the years vanish, but your sovereignty endures. Though all things pass, your glory will never depart from us. Help us to be your partners that we may endow our fleeting days with abiding worth. Together we say, O goodness and truth come from you, O God. May no transgressions estrange us from you, nor self-centeredness darken our vision of your purposes. Help us to recognize that which is just and more fully understand your will. In adversity and in prosperity, may the light of the Torah illuminate our path. May our labor in your service so that our deed become living hymn of praise to you. Let us join together on the top of page 38. Infinite is your power, even so is your love. It may be seen through the history of our people Israel, through laws and ethical precepts, through statutes and ordinances. You have led us in the ways of righteousness and brought us to the light of truth. Therefore, at our lying down and our rising up, we will meditate on the Torah's teachings, finding within it the inspiration and guidance for our daily lives. May your love never depart from our hearts. We praise you, God. You have revealed your love through our people Israel. Let's continue with Ahavat Olam.
Ahavat olam, Beit Yisrael, Amecha ahavta, Amcha ahavta, Torah u'mitzvot, Chukim u'mishpatim, Otanu limadeta, Otanu limadeta. Al ken Adonai Eloheinu b'shochbeinu, uvkumenu na'asiach b'chukecha, v'nismach b'divrei tortecha, u'b'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed. Ki hem chayenu, ve'orach yameinu, uvahem negei yomam v'layla, negei yomam v'layla. Ve'ahavatcha al tasir, ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו ישראל. אוהב עמו ישראל.
We are going to continue on page 39 as we rise. Oh, see, I cannot believe. Yes, we'll rise for the Shema. And we're going to give you a story about this in a minute. We rise for the Shema. Oh my God. What you've done to me. Oh my God.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto, Le'olam, Le'olam Va'ed. You shall love the eternal God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. And these words which I command you this day shall be upon your heart. You shall teach them diligently to your children, and shall speak of them when you sit in your house, when you walk by the way, when you lie down, when you rise up. You shall bind them for a sign upon your hand, and they shall shall write them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates, that you may remember and do all of my commandments and be holy, holy to your God.
On page 42, let us read these verses responsively. In truth, the Eternal One alone is our Redeemer. Let us praise the eternal God who gives rest to the weary and hope to the despondent. Blessed is Shabbat, the Queen of Days, which offers to our people enrichment of the soul. Even more than Israel has kept the Sabbath, so the Sabbath has kept our people Israel. How blessed are those who observe Shabbat, who sanctify it with prayer, with study, and with friendship. Let us rejoice in our God and delight in the heritage of our people. May our homes be filled with light and gladness. May our hearts be steadfast, trusting in the Eternal One. The love of God is our strength. We continue with Mi Chamocha.
Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Mi chamocha ba'alim Adonai. Mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh. Nora tehilot osefele, osefele. Malchutecha ra'uvanecha, bokeam lifnei Moshe. Malchutecha ra'uvanecha, bokeam lifnei Moshe. Zeh, zeh, anu ve'avihu, Adonai yimloch, le'olam, le'olam va'ed. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la.
We continue on page 44. Let me continue at the top of the page. As the Sabbath ascends and enfolds us in the mantle of peace, it brings to us the precious gift of time to embrace family and friends, to reflect more deeply on the meaning and purpose of our lives, and to worship in the beauty of holiness. May every Shabbat be for us a sanctuary of love and devotion, bringing contentment to our hearts, happiness to our homes, and blessings to our people. Together, those who celebrate Shabbat and call it a delight, rejoice in your creation. All who hallow the seventh day shall be gladdened by your goodness. This day is Israel's festival of the Spirit, sanctified and blessed by you, the most precious of days, a symbol of the joy of creation. Let us continue page 45 as we rise for the Amidah.
Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi yagid tehillah. Eternal God, open my lips that my mouth may declare your glory. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה, מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה.
You may be seated. Let us continue on page 46, reading these verses responsively. God of ages past and future, God of this day, as you were with our mothers and fathers, be with us as well. As you strengthen them, strengthen us. As you were their guide, be ours as well. Grant that we too may be bearers of your teaching, teachers of your truth. Then our condition shall endure, and our people Israel will live. From mother and father to daughter and son, and all who follow them. One generation comes, one generation passes. Each of us is a link in the endless chain of our heritage. Students of the Torah become teachers. Our faith and our ideals endure. Our people and our values live on. On page 48, let us read these verses responsively. God calls our people Israel to be of service. May we fulfill this charge by exemplifying the Torah's ideals with all those that we encounter in our daily lives. May we have the grace to fulfill our mission with enthusiasm and with joy, always tempered by your wisdom and guided by respect for other people's faiths and ideals. May our actions attest to the strength of our convictions. May our conduct towards our neighbors, our faithfulness in every sphere of duty, our compassion for those in need, and our patience under trial show that the one whose law we obey is indeed the God of all goodness, the loving creator of all people. This teaches us that to serve God is perfect freedom, and to worship God the soul's purest delight. May our eyes and minds always be open so that we may see and welcome all truth, whether shining from the wisdom of ancient revelations or reaching us through the prophets of our own time. For God continues to shed light on every generation that seeks the guidance of the Eternal One. The people of Israel shall preserve the Sabbath. Observing the Sabbath in every generation as a perpetual covenant, it is a sign between God and the people of Israel forever. We continue with Vishamru.
Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat, לדורותם, ברית עולם, ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, וביום השביעי שבת, שבת,
Grant, O God, that we may lie down in peace and that we may rise up again to life. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Guide us with wise counsel. Be as a shield about us, fortifying us against hatred and war, against pestilence and sorrow. Curb within us the inclination to do evil and enfold us with the embrace of your love. Guide our going out and coming in to life and peace from this time forth and forever. We praise you, God, for you shelter us and all who dwell on earth. Let us continue with Hashkivenu.
Hashkivenu, Hashkivenu, Adonai, Eloheinu, L'shalom, L'shalom, Hashkivenu, Hashkivenu, Adonai, Eloheinu, L'shalom, Adonai, Eloheinu, L'shalom.
Together on page 51, we gratefully acknowledge that the eternal God is our creator and preserver, the rock of our life and the shield of our health. We thank God and sing praises for the gift of life itself, for our souls that are ever in God's keeping, for the signs of our Creator's presence that we encounter every day, and God's wondrous gifts at all times, morning, noon, and night. Truly our blessings are without end, and God's loving kindness never ceases. Therefore, do we forever put our trust in the Eternal One. We continue with Shalom Rav on page 52 in the middle of the page.
Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki ata hu melech Adon lechol hashalom. Ki ata hu melech Adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. וטוב בעיניך לברך את עמך ישראל בכל עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. שלום רב ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. שלום רב ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם.
Friends, let's continue with some moments of private reflection and devotion. Prayer invites God's presence to lift our spirits. It allows the blessing and gift of hope to prevail in our lives. Prayer may not bring water to parched fields and amend a broken bridge nor rebuild a ruined city, but prayer can water an arid soul, mend a broken heart, and rebuild a weakened will. Together we pray for all people who at this hour are in sickness and want, in distress of body or spirit. We name in our hearts those who are near to us, whose pain we feel pain. Let them know your help and feel your presence, realizing that they are not alone. Friends, we are here to be mindful of people who are ill within our community and are in need of the support of their friends and family and of our community. If you'd like to share a name of someone that you are thinking of and praying for this evening who is in need of our attention and focus, I'd ask you to do so. Follow my hand. Yes? Okay. Anyone? Names? Lenny Cohen. Okay.
Edward Leonard.
Okay. We continue with Mishabera, page 10.
משברך אבותינו מקור הברכה לאמותינו. May the source of strength who bless the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Misheberach imotenu mekor habracha la'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen. Yiratzon imrefi, Yiratzon imrefi, v'hegion libi lefanecha, Adonai tzuri v'go'ali. Oh, may the words of my mouth, the meditation of my heart be acceptable before you, eternal God, my rock and my redeemer. Oh, say shalom b'mromav, u'yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru, ve'imru,
Shabbat shalom to everyone. Last week, when the cameras went off, we still had a service. And if you recall, those of you who were here, I spoke about the Queen. I'm afraid to talk about the Queen. And my point at the time was linking it to something that was in our Torah portion about kingship, about the sovereignty. And my point that I was trying to make was the Queen represented a sense of responsibility and limits, a belief that a leader, a monarch, whoever, has to live within a certain framework. And they are empowered by the fact that they respect the tradition and they respect the people, and it isn't about ego, it's about service. And I don't know how many people have watched any of this relating to the Queen's death. Has anyone seen any of this? Yeah, okay. So you're like me. I know I'm an Anglophile, but I know there's secret ones. There are people out there as well. And I don't want to talk about that, and I have a wonderful message that I wanted to share with you, but it doesn't seem relevant to me at this moment. But I want to talk about something else related to what's happening in the United Kingdom. You know, as you know, or if you don't, there is something that has been in the works since the 1960s, and that is London Bridge has fallen. And London Bridge has fallen is the well-planned out tradition of what's supposed to happen when the Queen dies. So literally, people got paged, and immediately all these things started to go into play. And what is transpiring in the United Kingdom is this well-developed, long-term idea about how the monarch should pass and how the reign should continue. And I think some of us have seen some of this. First of all, if you've seen the House of Parliament, everyone is wearing black with a black tie and a white shirt. And everyone is smiling at each other and getting along, pretending there are no differences. And if, I'm sure some of you saw that there was a range, and it was really incredibly brilliant how it was done. There was a 96-gun salute by cannons going off all over England and Gibraltar in a coordinated manner, like clockwork. And then there was this afternoon, whatever I saw was this prayer service welcoming anyone who wanted to come, basically. And then the King gave a wonderful speech. I thought it was excellent. I'm very tough on speeches. I give it an A. It was really very good. If he had sent it to me, I wouldn't have corrected anything. But here's my point. There is a ritual. There's a ritual. There is a sense that there is an order to how things are done. And that how every piece of the thing that how it's done is done with choreography and with dignity and with a sense that it's not about any individual, it's about something greater, about a 1,000-year tradition that has kept the British together, has kept the monarchy together, that has given stability to a country that has gone through all kinds of things, all kinds of crazy things and some difficult things, and catastrophic things, the destruction of really the empire and becoming a commonwealth. All these things are being held together by this ritual, by this drama that's played out according to certain rules. And I think about that because I believe we Jews get it wrong when we run away from the rituals. I mean, as you know, I'm a very traditionalist person, and the congregation knew that when you engaged me 12 years ago, and I'm sure some people think, oh God, he's so ritualistic. I mean, I was told the first day I was here, the first Shabbat, what are you wearing, a yarmulke, and why are you wearing, I mean, it was, I basically said to the person, it's none of your business, but that was besides the point. They still kept me. But ritual is powerful. I mean, what do we do on a Friday night? We follow a very specific ritual in our congregation. We light the Shabbat candles. We follow the liturgy of our service. We don't make it up every day, every week to something different. We follow ritual. Judaism is about the rituals. It's about the ritual of Shabbat. It's about the ritual of the high holidays. Can you imagine coming to here in Rosh Hashanah and we decide, oh, we're not blowing the shofar this year? I'm being serious. And there's a tradition that on Shabbat you don't blow the shofar. And since we have one day of Rosh Hashanah, I could very well get up if Rosh Hashanah is on Shabbat and say, we're not blowing the shofar. And then the chairs would be flying at me. Because it's a ritual. There's a tradition. There's ways we do things. It's a way we do things at the Seder. There's a way we do things when there is death. I mean, just think about that. We have this incredibly simple tradition that when someone dies, and literally you're supposed to do it at the time of death, but what we now do is that before we do the burial, we take, we traditionally took your shirt or whatever, you ripped it. Now we cut a ribbon, but that kriya, that cutting, is symbolic of a heart that's broken, and then we're going to try to repair it. I mean, all of this is about the ritual. We stand under the chuppah, the bridal canopy, because it represents the presence of God. And what do we do at the end? We break the glass, recognizing that the world is broken, we need to fix it. All of these things are the rituals that make us who we are. And I worry when we don't take them seriously. I really do. I think and it doesn't matter, Reform, Conservative, Orthodox, there are certain rituals in Jewish life that are sacred and important, and they keep us together as a religion, as a people. And the thing that the Queen and what's happening in England is showing me is how true everything I said is. I mean, look in our own country. We have a sports event. I don't go to many. They still sing the national anthem, don't they? Mm-hmm. Yep. Or has things gotten out of hand and they don't do that? I mean, in the beginning of school, in the olden days when things were good, I mean, now you're a teacher, do they pledge allegiance to the flag anymore?
I'm afraid so.
No, I mean, we gotta talk after service. I don't know what I'm gonna do with your young people. There is a sense that that's how we do things. I'm gonna get political for a moment, and I don't mean to. You know what was the saddest moment, I think, in the last several years in our country? There are many sad moments. When former President Trump didn't welcome President Biden's family into the White House at the day of inauguration. And I'm not gonna get into politics. It was such a lack of ritual, such a lack of having a sense there's something greater than our own egos. So as we think about the Queen, and again, I gave a sermon about her last week, and she died on Thursday, so I'm not feeling guilty, but I'm getting a little worried about what happens when I open my mouth. I think her message of her life and what the British people are doing now is a real strong lesson and message to us. Let's understand in our own personal lives, in our family lives, our communal, our national lives, that rituals are not something just quickly to be disposed of. That they really are incredibly symbolic, and they bring us together, and they connect us from one generation to the next. And I think we need that more than ever. Shabbat shalom. So let us continue in our service as we turn to page 368. Oh, I'm so happy with myself. Page 368. And we rise for the adoration.
Let us adore the ever-living God. We offer praise unto you, who spread out the heavens and established the earth. Your glory is revealed in the heavens above, and your greatness is manifested
seated. We join together on page 369. May the time not be distant, O God, when you shall be worshipped throughout the earth, when unbelief shall disappear and error be no more. Fervently we pray that the day may come when all people shall be guided by your teachings. Corruption and evil shall give way to purity and goodness. Superstition shall no longer enslave the mind, nor idolatry blind the eye. Then all who dwell on earth shall know that to you alone every knee shall bend and every voice give praise. May all created in your image recognize that we are brothers and sisters, so that one in spirit and one in harmony be forever united before you. Then shall your reign be established on earth, and the word of your ancient prophet be fulfilled. The eternal God will reign forever and ever. On that day the eternal shall be one. In God's name shall be one.
ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד. ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
At this time, we recall the yurt sites that are part of the permanent memory of our community. Ray Richmond Chasnoff, Belle Seitelman, Milton Fell, Margaret Finkel, Lenore Glassman, Lillian Goldman, Beverly Kahn, Jeffrey Milgram Klein, Rose Seligson, Betty Seit, Max Skier, Tilly Skier, Mrs. Julia Stern, and Howard Schwartzman. In solemn testimony to that unbroken faith that links the generations of the house of Israel one to another, we join together on page 375 as we rise for the mourner's Kaddish. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbi, b'yamad yivrach yirtei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon u'v'yamechon u'chayech kol beit Yisrael, v'galav izman karim yimru amen, yehei shemei Rabbi mivarach olam omen omayah, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaled v'yitalal shmei kudashah b'richu, Le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, damiran v'yamav yimru amen, Yehei shalom rabba min shemaya, v'chagim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen, poseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. May the one who causes peace to reign in the high heavens, let peace descend on us and all Israel and on all the world, and let us say amen. Amen. Let us be seated. Our Shabbat flowers are dedicated this evening in memory of Ray Richmond Chasnoff by Patty Chasnoff, in memory of Lenore Glassman by Lisa and Steve Glassman, in memory of Betty Seit by Tom Seit. A couple of things I want to emphasize for this coming week. Next Friday night, we will be having a guest rabbi for both Friday and Saturday, Rabbi Ben Chorin, and Golan Ben Chorin, a Reform rabbi from Haifa, who is a very interesting teacher, scholar, community organizer. He's going to be speaking about spirituality in preparation for Rosh Hashanah. And in the evening, his topic is a priest, an imam, a rabbi walk onto a pickleball court. Why an Israeli Reform rabbi engages in interfaith. He's a good speaker. Come. And the Onik Shabbat's going to be bigger than normal because the service is going to go a little longer, so there'll be more food. So
Worthwhile.
it'll be worthwhile. We're going to have to ask, do you have any ideas about what we should serve on next Friday night? No, of course not. Okay, on Shabbat morning,
you're letting me down. Okay, Shabbat morning, September 17th, from 10 to 11:30. Rabbi Ben Chorin is going to be offering Torah study, and the title is "The Mind, the Story, the Human Condition," a close reading of the weeks of Torah portion of Ki Tavo. We're just asking if you're coming to any of this, just to email us. Just be good to know how many people are going to come. I hope a lot. Whoever comes will enjoy it, and whoever doesn't come will miss it. So that's what I wanted to share with you most importantly. We also have on the last Friday of every month from 1:30 to 4 p.m. Our Put Food in a Car and a Smile on a Face. We volunteer to put to pass out food. That's at the Unity Southeast Church, and we have people come just to do moving and just to give some physical help to that. And if you're interested, contact the synagogue, and for more information, we can give it to you. The rest of the stuff, I don't have to repeat everything. Okay, so immediately following services, we'll join together outside for the Onim Shabbat. And what are we ending our worship with this evening, my friend? L'chila.
The Queen.
Okay, we are going to, and I'm going to tell people where it is, because you're not telling. Page 437, L'chila. Oh, I just want to say something else. There's something called the High Holidays coming up. I'm just blocking. Okay, wait. You can stand there for a second. Don't sit. It's not going to be that long. We have Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur are coming, and we're looking forward to it, and we're ready for it. And one of the things, if you've gotten stuff from the from the synagogue, you've noticed that there are going to be 2 services each evening, one on Rosh Hashanah, 2 on Rosh Hashanah, and 2 at Yom Kippur. One will be at 5 p.m., and one will be at 7:30 p.m. on Rosh Hashanah. And then on Yom Kippur, one will be at 6 p.m., and one will be at 8:30 p.m. And we would ask, it's up to you, they'll be the same services, they'll be identical. If you want to come for both services consecutively, and you want to do that, we'll love you. Nothing different's going to happen the second time around, but you're certainly welcome to come to both. If you, whatever service you're coming to, we would appreciate you letting us know, just so we have a sense of what the size of the group is going to be. But 2 perfectly good services each night, and we pray that you'll be part of them. So I'm sorry. So that was L'chila, page 437.
L'chilach, to a land that I will show you. Lech lecha, to a place you do not know. L'chilach, on your journey I will bless you, and you shall be a blessing. You shall be a blessing. You shall be a blessing. L'chilach, l'chilach, and I shall make your name great. Lech lecha, and all shall praise your name. That I will show you. L'simchat chaim, l'simchat chaim, l'simchat chaim, l'chilach. And you shall be a blessing. You shall be a blessing. You shall be a blessing. L'chilach.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
this on, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it died.
Well, it's on. Hi, Michael.
Did you guys get my message? My kids and my grandkids said that I exaggerate most things, that I understated how good the rabbi sermon was and how great
I can't.
I got your phone message. That was
I cannot
good.
believe what happened here.
Was that awful?
No, I'm not, nothing's bad happening.
I hit the button, it mutes it. The top button.
I get it. Just putting in fresh batteries completely, getting rid of all the batteries. It's definitely Nathan's fault. Anytime anything happens technically bad here, I'm escalating it. I just can't, I can't own my own